Oftentimes when you're sending cold emails, you'll have a bunch of case studies and maybe you won awards, you worked with large clients, but you don't really know how to use it in the cold email because there's the only way you know how to use it is use several paragraphs of case studies. So in this video, we're talking about how to curate your social proof to make it the most effective, most impactful in a cold email, right? Now, talking about social proof, there's basically three types of social proof that you could potentially put into an email. One is a case study, which is the most effective form of social proof. Then the second is, and if you worked with any industry famous clients or if you had really massive wins with something that's commonly known and recognized in the industry. And the third type is when you have won awards or certifications that are specifically perceived by your customers as rare and impressive, right? So let's talk about all three of these and how to include them in a cold email. Right off the bat, you have case studies. This is by far the most common as well as the most effective form of social proof that you can leverage in your cold emails. Okay, so and when I say case studies, we're not talking about lengthy case studies that span several paragraphs that you might see on a company's website. In your cold email, just because we want to keep our cold email super short, you want a one sentence case study that conveys all the value that case study carries within less than 5 seconds so that the prospect knows you know what you're talking about and you have demonstrated that you have the competence, the ability to help other prospects like them. So how do you structure your case studies? Every case study has 4 key components. Number 1, the hero of the case study. So in this case, this is the customer that you helped or whatever it is that you were talking about, the company or the customer that you helped. That's the hero. Number 2, there's the outcome or the transformation that the hero achieved. All right. So now you want to be very specific about both of these things. When you point out the hero of your case study, wherever possible, try to include as many details as you can. For example, drop their name, drop their industry, drop exactly what they do as a company. The more specific, the better. Similarly, when you're talking about the outcome or the transformation that you helped that hero produce, you want to talk about the results that matter the most to your customers. So this would be things like revenue generated, profits, new customers, new sales, whatever it is that you're selling, right? Oftentimes when I audit cold email campaigns or when I do consultation calls, I see people use metrics that matter to them as their case study metrics. For example, if you're a marketing company, you might want to talk about the amount of traffic you drove to someone's website or the number of unique visitors or their ranking on Google. But the business that you're working with, in most cases, really only cares about how your marketing impacted their bottom line. So most business owners only care about the bottom line, about how much money you made them, how much time you saved them, or how you revolutionized their business. Now, obviously, there might be exceptions. If you're working with the marketing department, they will care more about these specific metrics. If you're working with sales, they might care more about the number of SQLs, so on and so forth. But make sure that your transformation and outcome is specifically talking about what outcome you produce and the outcome that the customers care about. Similarly, throw in numbers, be very particular about what it was that you helped your hero achieve. So don't just say we helped them grow, say we helped them triple their top line revenue without increasing marketing spend and tripling profitability, right? Because the second one sounds more pointed, it sounds more trustworthy. So be specific again. The third component of a case study is simple, the time frame. So nothing fancy here, just say how many months or days, weeks, months or years it took you to deliver that transformation. And shorter is not usually better here, like not necessarily better. You want to talk about results in the short, medium and long time frames. So anything from a week to 3 months to 6 months to a year, because different businesses think in different time frames. Finally, and this is the icing on the cake. Now that you have the hero, the outcome, the transformation, and the time frame, you want to sprinkle on top of this what made this transformation even more impressive, right? Was there a handicap that you were operating with when you delivered this transformation to your hero? Maybe the customer you're working with, maybe they only had 2 hours a day to invest into your program. Maybe you were working with a business that couldn't spend much on marketing. Maybe you worked with a business where they just didn't have as much money or they were not profitable. So talk about these handicaps. Or talk about the second order benefits of your transformation. For example, if you help the business triple their revenue, talk about how that helped the business owner grow their staff. Talk about how it helped the business owner realize their vision of opening a new location. Talk about how you helped the company go public, or talk about how your transformation helped them raise another round of funding. So think of this in terms of the second order impact of what your ICP really wants and throw that in your case study. Right, here are a few examples. You can read through those. Pause the video, feel free to read through those. In the interest of brevity, I'm not going to read it. Now I'm going to give you some more examples, as well as frameworks, copy paste frameworks that you can literally just brainstorm this for all of your case studies, literally copy paste this into this framework, and boom, you have your one sentence case study. And I'm going to show that to you with examples. Right, the first one is we helped X achieve Y in Z time frame. A couple of examples, and I'm using our own case studies to show you how this works. So we helped Scott Holden from Tribe 144 sign 1 to 3 new customers every month for his marketing agency, which, as he shared, resulted in a 10x plus ROI. So here's the hero, right? Scott is the hero of this case study. 1 to 3 new customers every month, that's the transformation. Marketing agency. So I'm saying this to be more specific about the hero. And this is the second order impact. So resulted in a 10x plus ROI, and this is based off of his video testimonial, right? I interviewed Scott, and he said he's had over a 10x ROI from working with us. So this is an example of how you leverage all 4 of these points in one sentence. And it won't take anybody more than 5 seconds to read this. Another example, we helped Luca and Yandre from V8 Media. Again, this is the hero. Sign 11 D2C e-commerce clients for their marketing services. So this is the outcome, and then marketing services, specificity with the outcome. Doubling profitability, this is the second order outcome, and breaking into the international market, another second order outcome. So if now this case study will relate not just to marketing agency owners, but also to businesses who think they're not profitable enough, and also to marketing agencies that want to break into the international market. So this is why it's important to use all 4 of these components. Then the next framework, X achieved Y in Z time frame using a unique mechanism, or without doing something that they hate doing. All right. So a couple of examples. Alex from Loud Lion generated over $100,000 in profits in 10 months. Here's the hero. Here's the hero. This is the outcome. This is the time frame. Using R, and then this is the system. This is the unique mechanism to consistently sign e-commerce clients, and then some more specificity in the second half of the sentence. Another example, B2B SaaS company that booked 126 demos for their AI-based video solution, $4.5 million in new sales pipeline, helped them keep their account executives busy. So this is the hero. This and this, I'm talking about 2 outcomes here, 126 demos and 4.5 million in new sales pipeline. The reason I do that is because different companies care about different things, right? So this case study, it talks about demos because a director of sales or a director of business development cares more about demos, because they know if you have enough demos, their team can sell. So they might care about demos, which is why I'm leading with demos. And then this is the second order impact. So this is the amount of pipeline generated through those demos. And then another second order impact is that their account executives were busy. Because if you look at many new startups, they are often worried that their salespeople don't have enough to do, and they don't have enough deals to work on, which means the salespeople end up doing low ROI actions like reaching out to prospects manually, which is something a salesperson should do, but it's not as high of an ROI as talking to already engaged prospects. Then the third example, X achieved Y transformation within Z time frame without doing A by doing B. Example, hero Bradley Benner, semantic links, $75,000 MRR with his agency in time frame 6 months, without paying for ads, using outbound as his acquisition channel. So following this framework, just replacing X, Y, Z, A, and B, and boom, you have a case study. Another one, Amazon agency, first sales call within 5 hours, signed 5 new 7-figure clients. Finally, the last framework, the thing to note here with this one is that you add a descriptor explaining what your hero does. So example, ALM Corp, which is a digital marketing agency. So this descriptor allows you to explain what the hero does. Outcome, 379 discovery calls, 27 new contracts in all of 2024, 1 year, without spending a penny on ads. Another example, Jack Lombardi, owner of Chicago-based SEO and web design agency, And the reason this descriptor is important is because whenever someone reads this case study, if they also own an SEO and web design agency, they will relate more to this. They will know that you have worked with businesses just like theirs. 59 sales calls, medical and home improvement businesses, 15 weeks. Right? So hopefully this is helpful. This is one of the most critical, like one of the most important components of a cold email, and you need to get it right. If you get the case study right, you've already won 25% of the battle with cold email, just because you have valid, legitimate social proof included in your email. So I've used all of our case studies, like all of these are case studies that we use because I didn't want to use something that a client uses. But you can use this framework, use these formats for yourself, for your own case studies. Now, the second type of social proof is when you worked with large clients, right? So in our case, we've helped our clients book appointments with companies like Walmart, 7-Eleven, Tesla, Bathmate, Craft Sports, Fashion Nova, etc., etc. So this is our big piece of social proof, right? And this is what we say. So we say we've used our process to help our clients book appointments with these companies. Now, note how I don't talk about the companies that we worked with, because I don't want to say that we're so good directly. What I want to do is I want to say our clients are winning so big, which obviously means we're good, right? So this is indirect social proof, and this is only going to be valuable to you if you have industry famous clients, or if your clients have had big wins. Like if instead of talking about names like Walmart and others, I was talking about some local mom and pop store, this sentence would not hit as hard, right? So super simple. And then finally, if you won awards, so this can be especially useful if you're in the online education space, in the digital learning space, if you're in IT cybersecurity, stuff like that, where your customers, and this is important, awards and certifications are good social proof only if your customers care about it. It does not matter how much you care about award and certifications, only if your customers think that, yeah, I want to work with someone who has these certifications. That is only when these are relevant. So if if you have a Cisco CCNA certification, that might be useful if you're going after the right kind of audience. The same thing applies to Salesforce or any of these other development things. So there you have it. Here's how to curate your social proof, polish it, refine it, make it, put it out in a form that makes it super relevant to your audience and makes it impactful in a cold email. Questions or comments, drop them below, and I'll see you in the next one.